1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, we welcome in the new drug today is a final day of the week. Possibly a final Friday for me for a while. Ryan O'Halloran is here. He's going to be a Friday regular staple. Ryan O'Halloran, the Friday staple, is here.
That's my chair.
Okay.
I think it probably will be, right? Is Hayes on this side?
Yeah, I think
okay.
it actually will. Well said. I think it probably will be your chair. So,
so at next Friday at 4:00.
Yeah.
Post around beverage, in round beverage.
You know what? Well, very good question. 12:15, close. Very.
Maybe
I mean,
7.
Could
walking
be,
up 18,
could
driving
be,
up 18.
Yeah, could be coming up 18. You know, griping about the one I hit in the water on 17. And probably on my way. Yeah, you know what? Very insightful on your part. So it'll be one of the two. So there you go. Jay, do you want me to call the show or no?
Yeah, I thought you were going to be texting us about what a crap job everyone's doing.
So about 9 old fashions in, you don't want me calling the show?
I would love that.
That'd be a heck of a call, wouldn't it?
I need a review of how everyone's done.
I really love Steve Spurrier's spring practice.
That's right, absolutely. Hey, we're glad you're with us today. A lot to do on the program today. Ryan O'Halloran is here, JJ LaSalle as well. I'm Frank Frangie. A lot to talk about, including a first look at these rookies. I think, again, you keep it in perspective. Look, they're in gym shorts. Nobody's hitting anybody. Nobody's played football in a while. It's rookies, but I love it. I get real excited about it. You get to see guys. You said it the other day. You want to see people throw and catch because no one's hitting anybody, but you get a feel. And I'm going to go through some things that I will notice or try to notice. But I'm excited. I can't wait.
Yeah, and I talked to a couple of people this morning about that. It's something different. Haven't been out there to watch football in a while. And I think, as much as, I sort of wanted to be there today, maybe the second practice tomorrow will have a little bit more of a crispness to it.
Yeah, that's right.
They've sort of stretched their legs out a little bit and, got their wind. And, I think it's only for an hour or so, but it's, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, there's all, I'm glad you said that about the second practice. There's going to be some rust for all three of them because they haven't played. But that obvious rust, you can knock off some of that in the first day. That's a good point. I mean, the obvious stuff. So, I'm looking forward to it. So we're going to get into a little bit on today's program, kind of what you watch. You talked about this the other day, Ryan, but maybe kind of revisit that a bit on the program today. All right, other things. I'm going to make you a GM today and an AD. There's not many guys that can do both jobs, but you're a guy I think can do both. Okay, I think you can wear both hats. So, but I'm going to say, if you were in charge of blank, what would you do? Okay, all right. You like that? You like it? Are you prepared for that?
I am prepared because I got my homework assignment.
Okay.
And before my nap today, I did. I filled it out, and let's put it this way: the toughest assignment was Florida State football.
Okay. Yeah. Well, no question. But that's one of the most intriguing ones. So we'll certainly do that today. Schedule release is next Thursday, a week from yesterday. I had heard all along that's about when it was going to be. I'm not sure I know what is the thinking. I guess I read one place today that they're still trying to sell some games to television rights holders, and that's why it took a while. Is that
my guess isn't so much the selling; it's the fighting.
Okay.
I think Netflix was rightly ticked off last year that their Christmas games didn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So I think they're probably maybe haggling a little bit. And then also, I thought, yesterday trickled out Netflix got the Australia game. Okay. That was the first domino.
Right.
Now I think they're, the final stages here. And once Goodell signs off on it, they feel comfortable put it on Thursday. And I think the key thing for Jaguar fans is the international games will be announced Wednesday at 9 a.m. on Good Morning Football. So that's when London. That's when you'll know when the bye is.
Yeah.
And then so you get some clarity there, and then the rest of it will come out 8 o'clock on next Thursday.
Ryan, and if I've asked you this before, I apologize. Do you have an opinion on parsing it out to all the streaming services plus all the networks plus still cable if you count ESPN? Is that good for football, bad for football? Don't care, doesn't affect it. Where are you on that?
The way they have it set up right now is fine for me. Because I have those streaming services, and also I think a key part is the games are still being shown over the air in the local markets.
That's right.
I think that is critical. I think that's a line that Goodell probably won't allow them to not cross. I think I said that right, but I think it's always going to be available. But where I would start having a problem with it is if Netflix gets a couple 1 o'clock games, and CBS has the Jags game.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's so hard to flip back and forth. That's where I would have a problem. And I think we're a long way from that.
I do too. And by the way, what Ryan's talking about is if the Jags play a Monday night game on ESPN, because that's cable and it's not over the air, by rule, a local station can pick that up. So Channel 4, Channel 12,
They
47.
bid for it.
Yeah, and that's right. So one of the local stations can also air the game. So it's an over-the-air broadcast, not just a cable. Not that anybody doesn't have cable or can't get it on satellite or whatever. But that's the point. And I agree with you. I don't know how many people have to resort to that. I would never know the percentage of which people say, "Wow, I could not watch it otherwise." But I like that it's in place if it's one person. I like that it's in place.
And I think that will be especially true this year because I do expect the Jaguars to get a Thursday game on Amazon Prime. Well, even if it's on Prime, it'll be on locally. And so I think, as people live longer, I think there's still people who have their Spectrum or Xfinity or whatever, YouTube TV, but don't have Prime.
Yeah, just being like the guy that they'll call during the game like that. Like I get a lot of people who will call in and ask what channel it's on while I'm working the game, like on prime time. There's a lot more than you think. A lot more than you think.
Well, you know what? I believe that. I believe that. And there's always more of whatever than you think. So interesting stuff. So and I'm going to ask you, by the way, what your expectations are for the Jaguars schedule in terms of primetime games and where you think those. So you've kind of tipped your hand a little bit. We'll talk about that coming up later on in the program as well. All right, all kind of other stuff going on baseball tonight. I will tell you, I've told you about this before. Tonight, if you love baseball, and we've had great high school baseball here, we have 3 mega giant teams in Jacksonville. St. John's Country Day, which plays tonight, and 2 teams playing each other tonight. Trinity Christian and Bishop Snyder are both state championship worthy. People that are on the inside and follow high school baseball roundly believe that the winner of this series will win the state title in that class. They played 1 game before it went 13 innings, and Trinity won the game. I'm going tonight. The game, it's a Friday night game. I'm leaving out of here. I'm heading to Trinity and going to watch that ball game because I love baseball. And I haven't gotten out to a lot of high school games, but this one's that good. This, honest to God, folks, if you're a baseball fan and you can do it, go to Trinity hopefully there's room for you, room for me, room for all of us, because it's going to be a fantastic.
Oh, there'll be room for you, Frank.
Yeah. Well said, by the way.
We'll roll the carpet out.
So this is a best of 3, yet whoever wins this series advances to the state semis.
Yeah, which is one
winner
and done.
ticket. Okay, is that best of 3? What's sort of the rationale of doing it this way and then the other way?
Well, having one and done in baseball is stupid. It's completely idiotic. Anyone that knows the sport. The fact that it's 2 out of 3, which is what it should be, and then once you move on, it's 1 and done is totally stupid.
Yeah, so they probably cite cost.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but you're correct, but it makes no sense. Yeah. But we have baseball people in the baseball community, and I'm one of them, have screamed forever that you can't make baseball 1 and done. Georgia was ahead of the game. Georgia went to 2 out of 3 in every level well before Florida did. Florida's finally gone to 2 out of 3, way too late. And then the championships is a Final Four single elimination, which is just crazy, Ryan. It's just crazy.
Yeah. And I discovered this covering the state basketball stuff. There's no shot clock.
Yeah. Well, correct. There's no shot clock in that.
Wake up, guys.
Yeah, it's right. It's not hard now to buy one.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I totally agree with you. So, but it is a fantastic game. I'm going to be tonight. I'm going tonight. There's a chance if there's if necessary game 3, you might go.
We're just talking about that. Yeah. Jags run till 12:50 until 2.
Yeah.
So just the schedule for baseball would be a 1 o'clock game 2 at Trinity.
Yeah, they're all Trinity. 7 tonight, 1 o'clock tomorrow, and then if there's an if necessary game, right, 20 minutes later. Yeah.
So that would be a quick drive up there. And
I may be right behind you, ahead of you if we do that. We won't be able to go to the 1 o'clock for obvious reasons. The Jags are on the field, so we'll certainly do that. And final baseball thing, thank you for coming out today. That was a special clinic for us at Walk Off Charities. 10,000 kids have come through, and Ryan was kind enough to come out, so thank you for that.
Really quick, I want to promote that because it was great to be out there. We had other local media who were out there as well, so that was cool to see. And it made me nostalgic a little bit my youth, and I was middle class. I didn't have to worry about a glove, but just the amount of games of catch I played with my brother, who's a year younger. My dad would come home from work. We'd play catch as the three of us. And so you could tell the kids, as soon as they got the gloves out of the boxes, they had to figure out if they're right-handed or left-handed.
They didn't know.
But when they put that glove on, they didn't want to put it down.
Yeah, and I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, what we do now is we ask you which hand you write with.
Yep.
And with it. Now, by the way, I throw right-handed, left-handed. But, I mean, we that's how we start. And I'm glad I'm glad you were able to observe that. Can you imagine, and JJ, you hear us talk about this all the time, most of us that live can't imagine not being able to afford a baseball glove.
Mm-hmm.
Can't imagine.
Yeah, I probably had one when I was like 3 or 4 years old or something.
My first one, and you'll read about it tomorrow. My first one was when I was 8 years old, and first one that I owned. But I can't imagine kids not being able to have that. And these kids are some of the ones that wouldn't have, and today they got them.
Well, the late great Frangie Sr. got his name in the paper tomorrow.
Yeah,
so that was my great anecdote.
Yeah.
It'll be in my notes column tomorrow.
Well, I appreciate you doing that very much. All right, but let's do this. Let's take a break. When we come back, let's kick it off with Jaguars minicamp. Tomorrow they'll be on the field. We hope outdoors. If it rains, they'll go indoors. But tomorrow's the day where the media has been invited out to watch. What to watch, who will watch, why we'll watch. That's how we'll kick off the program. I do want to thank our friends from Big Chief Tire Company, the best tire company in all of Jacksonville. I promise you, my friends at Big Chief. You were out at that park today, the Reagan Baseball Complex. You saw those Big Chief signs all around because so many of the people that have been good to us have been good to us in so many ways, and we sure appreciate our friends from Big Chief Tire Company. Let's talk some Jaguars football after this on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Duval. This is Jacksonville Sports Radio, 1010XL.
Flowers and cards are great for Mother's Day, but why not make this Mother's Day extra special with something timeless from Beard's Diamonds? The team at Beard's has put together an amazing collection of affordable and distinctive gifts up to 40% off. Beautiful bracelets with diamonds and colored gemstones, stunning pendants, and gorgeous earrings featuring both natural and lab-grown diamonds. Think about it. It's the gift she'll be able to enjoy for years, even decades. Always a reminder of that special Mother's Day in 2026. Rings, bands, pearls, fashion pieces, all the latest from the world's top designers. Beard's makes it easy to show the mother in your life how much she means to you and to the whole family. And with up to 40% savings, you'll be amazed at what you can do with your budget. Get the card and the flowers, but top it off with a spectacular piece of jewelry from Beard's. Beard's Diamonds, not another chain store owned by Wall Street. Your local jeweler. Family owned and operated for nearly 45 years. Beard's Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center.
What if your next fun day out cost you $70 to play all day? That's exactly what you get at the Battalion Airsoft Arena, the only indoor airsoft battlefield in Jacks. Skip the same old boring entertainment choices and step into real action with your crew. Perfect for birthdays, company team building, graduation parties, or just epic weekend fun. No experience, no problem. The Battalion package includes everything: gun, mask, and ammo with unlimited play. So lock in your mission now at BattalionAirsoftArena.com.
David Garrard here. Playing in the NFL can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, especially your knees. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has kept me mobile and ready to tackle every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
This is former NFL quarterback David Garrard. If your knees have taken a beating and you're finally ready to do something about it, then let Southeast Orthopedic take a look. Come on, do your knees a favor.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Share your voice anytime on the 1010XL text line.
Are you serious?
Installed by Lifetime Flooring.
I gotta say, you're totally blowing my mind right now.
If you can't call or email, text us. 641-1010.
Dinner tonight? Make it easy and make it something everyone will love. With the Flame Broiler Family Meal Plan, you can feed 4 fast with fresh, flavorful options. You get 20 ounces of your choice of protein. Mix and match your favorites, plus steamed rice and a fresh veggie medley. It's a complete no-stress meal the whole family can agree on, starting at just $34.99. Skip the cooking tonight. Bring the family together and stop by any of Flame Broiler's 5 locations today.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. Call 904-722-1111.
Instant Keys saves the day if you've lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call Instant Keys, 722-1111.
Hey, poker players, let's ride to the riches. Best Bet St. Augustine is giving away a brand new all-terrain side-by-side vehicle and cash prizes during the Ride to the Riches promotion. From May 1st through August 7th, every hour of poker and table games played at Best Bet St. Augustine earns you a chance to win over $40,000 in cash and prizes, including a top-of-the-line side-by-side all-terrain vehicle. Visit bestbetjacks.com for details. That's bestbetjacks.com, and we'll see you in St. Augustine.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. For all of your tires and automotive service needs, it's Big Chief Tire.
6 locations on the First Coast, the north side, 2 on the west side, the south side, Orange Park, and Mandarin. If you can hear me right now, you're near a Big Chief Tire for all your automotive needs. Oil changes, brakes, alignments, and, of course, those terrific tires. Head to Big Chief Tire Company. They keep Jacks rolling, and we sure appreciate them as a sponsor of the program. Frank Frangie, Rhino Halloran with you. JJ LaSelva here as well. Hayes Carline returns next Monday from vacation. Tomorrow, let me go first. You talked about this the other day. I think when I watch rookies, and you talked about it, Ryan, you want to see them pitch and catch because that's what you can see. I want to see if guys look the part. Do they look like they have that first step? I also want to see how they look. Is Albert Regis big enough? That was my question for Tony Baselli when he and I talked offline, and some others we talked to. I want to see if they look like that. Some guys have that; they just have that look about them. I want to see if these guys have that. I want to see how they look in the uniform. I want to watch the communication between their coaches for the first time. Well, yes, today's the first time, but I mean tomorrow, one of the first times. I want to see that connection. I think there's something you can see. How big are they? Is the size right? Do they look like they come out of their breaks in good shape? Is there no one who goes to an NFL camp doesn't look the part in some ways? But I want to see how much they do. I think that's probably what will jump off the page for me.
Yeah, and what you look for is their recall because they're getting a lot thrown at them over these last 2 days since they got to the building yesterday. And how many times does Liam Cohen have to blow the whistle and say, do it again?
Right.
Or how many times does he have to say you're lined up wrong? So I think that's going to be the mental test for them, and you'll be able to tell whether they've been able to handle what's been installed for a couple of days. But I just want to go for the draft picks for a second.
Yep.
We talked about the 2 tight ends yesterday, so I'll just move on from them. But Jalen Husky is an intriguing player to me. We talked about it yesterday, 11 interceptions. I want to see do they have him at nickel tomorrow or do they have him at safety? And the question I'll have for Liam Cohen, if I can get it in, is what's the process? Do you teach them both at once? Do you teach them safety first, then nickel, and maybe get more of a clue on how he's going to be used? And then also from the undrafted guys, these are guys we haven't visited with at all, but some interesting stories here. One guy is Michael Wortham. He's the receiver from Montana. He's at 5'9". He played quarterback, receiver, kick returner. So he's sort of that gadget guy that, probably not going to make the roster, but I'd be interested to see if they can have a little fun with him in terms of making things interesting during this rookie camp and also some during the OTAs.
Let me go through some specific guys too. Borkacher. I want to watch how he catches the football. I want to see if he catches it. Is he a hand catcher? Is he a body catcher? I want to look he's a big physical blocker. I think that the word is already out on him that he's that. Does he look agile? Does he look like he can get down the field? That's the first thing. Their second pick, the third-round pick, Albert Regis. I want to see if he looks big and thick enough. He's only 6'1". I made this comparison yesterday. You can't talk Aaron Donald because he's one of the best tackles in the history of the sport. I'm trying to find little guys. Ed Oliver's the guy that I keep coming back to. What did you think of him? You saw him for a number of years.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing about Ed. When he turned it on.
Yeah, when he wanted to play.
Yeah, and so that means primetime games.
Yeah.
That means the Chiefs. And he could be very disruptive.
So the size wasn't a factor.
No. I mean, he was a strong guy.
Yeah.
Not so much a bowling ball, but he's not the tallest guy. He's not going to be batting down passes.
About 6'1".
Yes, but he can get an interior rush. And there are some games where he came out and says, I am going to blow up their run game. And that's going to allow me to rush the passer on third down. So I like that comparison. That's one thing I'll be looking for, just sort of a body type thing there. So, they list him at 6'1", 295. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to tell if he's 6'1", 310.
Yeah. And there's a lot of guys, by the way, that are 6 feet, 350. Because they're big two-gap nose guards. That's not what I think Regis is. So it's not just a height. It's all of it together. Again, I think he played at 315 to 320, lost weight down to 295 to run better, whether it was a pro day or a combine or whatnot. The third guy is Emmanuel Pregnon. Look, that's the one guy that all the consensus boards like because they said it was good value. I wonder. Again, you can't tell an offensive lineman because nobody's hitting anybody. But my guess is when they release the depth chart, I said this yesterday to you. My guess is when they release the depth chart, Milam will be the backup left guard to Ezra Cleveland. Monheim's going to be the backup center to Hainsey. And I'm guessing Emmanuel Pregnon will be the backup right guard to Patrick McCary. And it may not be exactly like that. I mean, and Walker Little will be one of the backup tackles. So I think if that's how they align, and you won't see that tomorrow because the veterans aren't out there, I wonder if Pregnon will look to me like a guy that can one day be their right guard sooner than later.
I think he has the ability to. I think it's just about opportunity right now. They have Macari at right guard. They are sticking with him. They sort of have to contractually for at least this year, but I would get Pregnon ready because last year they got caught in a bind at Denver that day when his back locked up and Walker Little had to say, I'm a guard now. And he did a hell of a good job.
He did a really good job. Huskies, their fourth pick. He was the third-round pick 11. You made an interesting point about him. Where do they play him? I think he's just a safety. But you think – I hear you because he was a corner. Could he be a slot guy? Could he play both? I do believe this. I think with young guys, you got to learn one thing. That was a little bit of the criticism of Travis Hunter, but I see it with a lot of defensive guys. They didn't want to work Jack Kaiser at the mic and the will. Learn the mic. Branson Combs don't learn the will, and so I think Husky's going to have to learn one early on.
Yeah, I had Jordan Hancock in Buffalo last year. They drafted him from Ohio State, and Brandon Bean came out that day, so we're going to teach them both at the same time. Well, the disconnect for that staff and personnel came out when they said, well, he's not, the learning isn't there. Well, they should have focused on one thing. So but I think if Husky can make an impact, do they become more of a dime team? They played a lot of dime last year, but does he give them some options that can he play a little bit of man inside?
And let me tell you the dime look last year, and I know you know this. I don't know that a lot of people do, and I probably didn't talk about it a lot because I wasn't going to say something negative about a player when I'm calling their games. But as good as Devin Lloyd was, and as many greats, and Devin Lloyd earned every dime that he got from Carolina. He had a great year statistically, all those interceptions. But they worried about him in coverage. That's why they played with one linebacker. I mean, I think you know that. I can tell you that. They really worried about him getting matched up. Now, if Branson Combs or Ventrell Miller are better in man coverage or better just in coverage, and maybe you don't play as much time. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of, to your point, a lot of safeties now. They got a lot. Would not surprise me to see that.
And one thing that they started doing late in the year is they end up playing Gardeck at the edge.
Yeah, that's right.
And so they had
move Trayvon inside. That's
so
correct.
They had two linebackers on the field, but really one true one. And I think Dennis can do a couple things as a rusher to provide some depth there. So I think that gives them an option as well to use 6 DBs.
Very good point, but probably because he's a psycho. I love Gardeck. I love him.
Fine ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Wesley Williams was their next pick, 4th round pick, 124 overall. Great special teams players, evidenced by the 5 blocked kicks. 4 of those were field goals. You made the point the other day. More sacks as a junior than a senior. Played a lot of football. They need backup edges. Okay, behind Josh Hines, Allen, and Trayvon Walker, as we talked about yesterday, Ryan. Danny Strigo's there. B.J. Green is there. They drafted Wesley Williams. They drafted Zach Durfee. There's a bunch of guys. They tried Ogba and Smoot last year, and it didn't work. No. They tried the veterans last year, and it didn't work. So that doesn't mean, to the point you made yesterday, they won't try another veteran there. But there's a bunch of guys now, and Wesley Williams, I'll lump him and Durfee together. That's 2 guys now that have, listen, somebody's going to be their third pass rusher. Gardeck notwithstanding, because he's a linebacker that plays there in edge. But I'm talking about in the depth chart. Someone's going to be their third best edge guy, and I think all these guys, don't you get that sense that Williams, Durfee, Strigo, Green, whoever else are all going to be in the hunt for that?
I mean, I think if you had to roll it out now, I think Danny Strigo would be your favorite to be the number 3 edge rusher.
I agree with that.
I think we touched on this. I think one of the questions is there number 3 or 4 edge rusher not here yet?
Yeah,
and,
possibly.
And so this is a chance for Williams. And one thing, if you look at Williams' statistics that jump out to me over the last 2 years, is he had a combined 13 tackles for loss that didn't include sacks. Okay, is that chasing the ball down on screens? Is that playing the run and setting the edge like that and making tackles? So I'm sure that if he wasn't a great run defender, they wouldn't have drafted him, but maybe he does add some value there. But yeah, this is for the backup edge rushers on this roster right now. The next 6 weeks, if they don't do anything else, are a heck of an opportunity.
Yeah, there's no question. It's wide open. I'm going to get to Koziel. Koziel is a pass-catching machine. Like 168 catches in the last 2 years. He had 24 touchdown catches in the last 2 years. I've got to believe he's a move tight end. Mm-hmm. My guess is that Borkacher is an inline tight end. I guess Strange, when they play 12 personnel, and I think Borkacher's going to start, will then be the move tight end. I think Brenton can do both of those. I get a hunch Koziel's going to catch a bunch of passes. Of all these guys on here, boy, I see him making an early impact as a pass catcher.
Yeah, and one of James Gladstone's most notable adjectives is superpower.
Yeah.
And he used it one time during the entire draft weekend. It was about Koziel's ability to win in the air and win, using that frame of his, which is listed as 6'6.5".
Yeah.
That is a big body against linebackers. And so, I mean, impact player, is it 25 catches?
Yeah.
Is it, something like that? Because you do have a lot of mouths to feed in this passing game. But he's going to get a chance.
Josh Cameron's. I'm gonna lump Cameron and C.J. Williams together. They're the next two guys. Cameron looks like a running back. Now, part of it's because he wore 34 in college. He's not going to wear that now. He's going to wear 19. But he wore 34. But his build, you saw him,
6'2", 220.
And he looks like, and he's built like a running back. And he wore number 34, which is a running back's number. He's, of all these guys here, Albert Regis too. Josh Cameron's the one who I want to see his body type tomorrow. Yeah, I want to see what he look. Does he look like a running back playing receiver? I'll be interested to see that.
Yeah, and I think a question for Cameron is availability right now. He had that left ankle,
right?
So no pro day, no combine. And I asked James Gladstone about that, and he said that maybe they take it a little slower. I think it's worth getting an update from Liam Cohen about that. But even if he's out there just catching punts, and because that's the opportunity in front of Josh Cameron is, can you catch punts? Because you don't want Parker Washington back there because he's too valuable on offense.
That's an interesting take because he's a really good punt returner, Ryan. I mean, he's valuable on offense. Boy, he is a good punt. I mean, Parker Washington is a special punt returner. So we'll see. C.J. Williams is the other receiver. I'll be interested to see what he is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's a burner, but he's not big and physical. He just might be that really good route runner. He had 300-yard games last year. So certainly he's a guy that quarterbacks will target. I think he's just a solid, my guess is, good route runner, not super fast but not slow, not super big but not small. He looks like he'll be a sleek kind of backup receiver.
Yeah, he's a late bloomer in college.
Yeah,
I mean, It took him till his third stop to get more than 17 catches and 250 yards, but then he came back with 59, 749, and 6 for Stanford. And you mentioned the 100-yard games. I asked him about his first 100-yard game against San Jose State. He thought it was one of his worst games of the season. So we have a perfectionist on our hands. But I mean, he faces uphill climb. But he's going to get a lot of playing time in August.
And the last guy they drafted, obviously there's some undrafted guys. The last guy they drafted, because we talked about Durfee when we talked about Williams. The last guy they drafted is Parker Hughes. He's very interesting for a number of reasons. Number one, he doesn't look very big to me. He's another guy that I wonder if he's big, if his frame's big. We see 6'1", 220. I've seen 6'1", 220 guys that look bulky, and I've seen 6'1", 220 guys that look lean. The video I saw, he looked lean. He had 100 tackles last year, okay? And what surprised me that he went as low as he did, pick 240s, when I saw that he can really run. See, I mean, he's in the 4.3s, and I'm thinking, well, dang, if he's in the 4.3s and he had 100 tackles and he's a veteran guy, why did he go so low? So I want to learn more about him. Obviously, he's a veteran football player that was I said this the other day, very productive football player, had good college numbers like a lot of these guys did. But I want to learn more about him. If if he's got 100 tackles and ran 4.3 and change, why did he go low?
Yeah, and for fans who come out to training camp in July and August, what you're going to see Hughes is that he's going to be directing that third-team defense.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to really play the quarterback. That's how you impress the coaches. Make sure your guys are getting lined up who aren't getting a lot of reps.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. What undrafted is the running back from Virginia? Is that the undrafted guy that most people will be watching, you think?
Yeah, and that's who I'll have an eye on, Jamari Taylor. He spent 5 years at North Carolina Central, didn't play his first 2 years because of COVID and a red shirt, but then 1,146 yards, and then he transferred to UVA, goes for 1,014 touchdowns. So I like guys who scored 29 touchdowns their last 2 years of college. That means you probably popped them one or two, but also means they probably trust you in goal line.
Well, I'm getting ahead of myself here. And we can't possibly know this, but that's radio. It's why we talk about stuff we don't know. It's September 23rd. We're in week 3. What's the running back rotation?
Well, the first thing I'm calling the 72 Dolphins.
What's the running back rotation?
I think it's I do think it's Rodriguez first, because I think that trust level with Liam Cohen from Kentucky, even though it was a couple years ago, I think that will carry him.
I hear you. I agree with some of that.
And I think Tootin will be that guy that, hey, third drive, you start the drive. And then I do think Allen can do some things on third down.
And he'll be the third down back. I think that of the 4 guys or 5 guys, the one you feel the role you feel most confident is that LaQuinn Allen, who was a pretty good third down back last year, returns is that.
Yeah, and one curveball that Liam Cohen threw probably over the last month or two of the season was, it wasn't a lot of snaps, but he had Etienne and Tootin on the field at the same time. And that really threw a couple curveballs at the defense because you didn't know who's staying in, who's running her out.
Yeah.
That's where I think Rodriguez and Tootin, or even Rodriguez and Allen, could give him some options.
It'll be interesting to see. We'll take a break. All right, we're going to talk more NFL later on in the program. Pete Prisco joins us at 5:15. I'm going to ask Ryan his thoughts about the schedule release. What kind of games will the Jaguars get? Also, the NFL official deal. All that comes up in a bit. But when we come back, you're going to become GM/AD. What would you do guy? That's next on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Memorial Day, friends, family, great food is what we look forward to all year. But when your septic system decides it wants to be part of the conversation, nobody wants that. Getting a pump out now is a smart move before things get, let's just say, uncomfortable. Duck Rooter, Northeast Florida's only master septic contractor. They've seen it all, and they get it right the first time. Right now, get $50 off septic tank pumping. Keep the memories, not the mess. When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769 or duckrooter.com.
Here's a health and wellness tip from orthopedic specialists of Jacksonville.
Every joint in the body was designed for movement. Inactivity can cause stiffness, weakness, weight gain, and decrease in overall balance. So you should strive for at least 30 minutes a day of exercises that promote flexibility like yoga, strengthening with weights, and cardiovascular fitness like walking, swimming, or biking. The more you move, the better you will feel, and your overall health will benefit. Let's get healthy, Jax. Go Jags.
Stay healthy with orthopedic specialists of Jacksonville.
Frank Frangie here from my friend and insurance agent, Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
Whether you're undertaking a major home renovation or just a simple repair request, American Electrical is your 5-star Jacksonville-based electrician to get the work done right. Experienced design building department working seamlessly with their electrical contracting department to help you create beautiful lighting spaces and electrical plans that make your house flow. And remember, with American Electrical, it's wired right at a fair price. Call American Electric at 737-7770. Look for that red, white, and blue eagle on the side of their truck, and you'll know it's American Electrical.
Need or want cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
When you're hungry, go big, and more importantly, go to Dailies, where they got anything and everything to tantalize your taste buds and fill you up. At Daly's, our barbecue beef brisket sandwich is slow smoked to perfection. Tender, juicy, and full of bold flavor. It's the kind of sandwich that truly satisfies. Try the barbecue brisket sandwich at Daly's. Meanwhile, some favorites never go out of style. The Duval sub at Daly's is stacked, loaded, and made with the bold flavor you want in every bite. Fresh ingredients, big taste. It's a local favorite. Grab the Duval sub today at Daly's. Or maybe you just want a delicious chicken sandwich. Some choices just work. The chicken sandwich at Daly's is crispy on the outside, it's juicy on the inside, and it is full of flavor. Perfect for lunch, perfect for dinner, perfect anytime hunger hits. So grab the chicken sandwich today at Daly's. Daly's is made fresh, it's made local, and Daly's is built for big appetites. I'll see you there today.
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mocama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect pilsners and lagers, matching memories and some Mocama magic is what it's all about. Mocama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mocama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors. Want your son or daughter to enjoy sports year-round? Then log on to i9sports.com with summer and fall registration open right now, including girls volleyball at UNF and Bishop Snyder this summer, plus plenty of other sports on the First Coast. i9sports.com, enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. For all of your tires and automotive service needs, it's Big Chief Tire.
With 6 locations in town. If you can hear me now, you're near a Big Chief. So if there's anything wrong with your car, oil change, brakes, alignment, tires, have them look at that thing. They'll keep Jacks rolling all right. They'll get you rolling, and you will trust the job they do. Always appreciate our friends at Big Chief Tire. Always a Big Chief Tire Friday around here. Let's get right to it. I'm not beating around the bush. Start with the Jaguars. You are the general manager. You're James Gladstone. What do you like about what he has done? What do you like about where you think they're headed? What would you do differently? If you were Liam Cohen, I mean, are you attacking? Or are you more 12, 13 personnel? How are you building the Jaguars?
Well, let's start with head coach. He's got to like his skill position players right now.
Okay.
And so that gives him a lot of options in terms of, okay, he can play 11, he can play 12, 13. He doesn't have to. He probably doesn't have to use a 6th offensive lineman as much as he did last year. That means he can probably throw out of that more than he could. So I'm a little wary at running back. I think they're fine at receiver, fine at tight end. They got a bunch of O-linemen. They're probably just going to be okay.
Right.
But I just think if I'm him, not to be totally arrogant, but he in his mind is, if my guys are healthy, I'm going to out-scheme the other team.
Yep, and I think he's kind of proven that early on. If you're looking at a post-June 1 acquisition, where are you looking?
I'm looking at pass rusher, and also looking at a decision on Eric Armstead. Right now, it appears that he would be on the roster.
You save what, 14 if you don't keep him?
It's something the team's there, so it would create what it would do is it would create a chunk of space to put some of Strange and Washington's extension on the books this year.
Okay, I'm putting you on the spot. You keeping Armstead or not?
I think I probably would. I would not rework his deal at all. Say, okay, this is your final season, and earn your contract somewhere else. But I would be keeping an eye on that pass rusher market and say, hey, can we find a guy who can give them 12 to 15 snaps a game on 3rd down and can really improve the 4-man pass rush?
Anywhere else? Running back? Anywhere else?
I mean, running back, you're always keeping an eye on. Because guys are going to start getting cut as teams start signing more undrafted guys or tryout guys, so maybe trickling out. But I think the most likely thing to improve your team right now is on the edge. I'll add on Gladstone. He said in late March that they had some talks with Washington and Strange. This is sort of the kind of time of year, once they get through the draft, that picks up, see if the numbers match. I think there should be urgency on the players' part because they were not first-round picks. Hey, sign the contract now, life-changing money. That means you can really attack this season without the specter of, if I get hurt, am I up the creek?
Final thing, if you're Shad or James Gladstone, what are you doing with Liam? Are you extending him? Are you just letting it stay put? Or you want another year before you do anything with the contract?
Yeah, I would wait. I would wait on both of them. Yeah. They have plenty of years left.
Right.
And,
no one's near at the end of the contract.
Yeah, and if I'm Shad Khan, I've seen the movie of Great Expectations turn into a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
So if they are able to repeat as the vision, I would explore adding a year, because they're going to Orlando in 27, and that's not going to be a wash, but it is going to be a tough climb.
All right, let's pivot. I wish we had that little, the DJs would do that little thing, JJ, with the slide.
Record scratch?
Yeah, the record scratch. So we're pivoting right now to the Florida Gator football team. I'm going to make you Scott Strickland. What do you like? There's no moves to be made. You got your staff in place. How do you feel about your coach? And I'm going to make you Summerall in a minute.
Yeah, if I'm Scott Strickland right now, my number one priority is twofold. One, stay out of the way with John Summerall. And number two, raise money. Right. Because they are, we don't see payroll totals in SEC football, but I've heard they're really trailing. Okay. And so LSU is in a different stratosphere, but I think they have to really get the NIL, I think, improved, because if they have success, the price goes up.
The word on the street is the LSU's, Ohio States of the world have about a $50 million payroll, and Florida's in that low 30 range.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard the same thing.
Like 20, I've heard 29 to 32, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's not enough.
Yeah.
Because even if LSU stinks, there's still going to be money. They're the only Power 4 team in the state. So that's if I'm Strickland. And if I'm Strickland, you take what Billy Napier said a little bit to heart, that there was a disconnect. I would make sure I am working hard, telling John Summerall, whatever you need.
Yeah, very good point. The alignment matters. You're John Summerall. Who's your quarterback?
I would say probably right now Aaron Philo, because of the experience with Buster Faulkner. I'll preface that by saying Aaron Philo hasn't played a lot of football either.
Right.
At this level.
Very good point.
I would. If I'm Summerall, I would tell Tramel Jones, hey, you may not be the starter those first couple of games, but we're going to make sure you get some playing time. And not to keep him from leaving or whatever, but you have to get him ready. So Philo would be my quarterback. I'd heard Tramel was up and down during the spring. He had a good game, which was encouraging.
I heard the same thing. By the way, my prediction, I'll give you my prediction on quarterback. One of them wins, barring injury, one of them wins the job, plays pretty well. The other one transfers in January, and Will Griffin's the backup. Mm-hmm. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, I mean, that's usually how it's been going. I would love for Tramel Jones, the Jacksonville kid, to be a Gator.
Yeah.
But if Aaron Philo,
whichever one wins.
Yeah. But if Aaron Philo has a great year, then his price is met by the Gators. Then you're Tramel Jones and say, hey, I got some good stuff on tape. And I can find another job.
You're John Summerall. You're going to SEC Media Days. You've had this great personality, and Florida's done this marvelous job of leveraging your personality, which has helped on the recruiting trail already. What are you doing? What are you doing in Tampa? You're telling the world that we expect to be a top whatever team. Are you downplaying it a little? What are you doing?
I'm probably going with tepid expectations, Summerall.
Yeah, that's not who he is.
No, and it's a shock that him and Liam Cohen get along. Yeah. I just don't see any similarities there. But if I'm Summerall, I go there and I express enthusiasm. But also, I think the thing he's done well is he's balanced it by saying, got a long way to go. This was a team that had talent that was inherited, but they probably didn't know how to win. They have issues up front with their O-line, so trying to find the right mix there. So I think, and it's always interesting, what players does he bring to Tampa with him?
Who are you bringing?
I mean,
I'm making you the coach.
If I'm the coach, I'm bringing. If I'm the coach, he says, Ryan, who are you bringing? I say, bringing Aaron Philo.
Yeah, he will.
He's probably not gonna.
And by the way, he's not because he's going to bring Baugh. He's going to bring Miles Graham. What do you get 3?
Yeah,
it's going to be Baugh. It's going to be Miles Graham. It's going to be
one of the receivers.
Yeah, maybe a Singleton. Yeah, probably Baugh, Singleton, and Graham. That's who he's going to bring. Yeah. I'm going to be a media guy for a second now. Okay, and I've screamed this into the mic. JJ knows this. every team should bring a quarterback.
Oh, 100%.
And if you haven't decided one, pick one
Bring
to
them both.
bring them both.
Yeah.
But every team should bring a quarterback.
Yeah, and
I'm adamantly, the media spends a lot of money, a lot of effort to go there. Fans lean on it. Fans can't wait to read it, watch it, follow it, listen to it. Bring a quarterback.
Yeah, Greg Sankey, if you're listening, make it a mandate.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I would.
And so that's so. But to sum it up on Summerall, I went to that opening press conference, and I'm like, okay. But then what his staff hiring showed is he was not going to be a overbearing. I'm in charge. I don't want anybody with more experience than me on my staff. Trotwine's already had an impact. Faulkner was a sought after guy, and then also Brad White from Kentucky. We'll see what kind of defense he plays. But one thing about my visit to the combine is I talked to offensive guys from Georgia Tech and defensive guys from Kentucky. One of the Kentucky defensive players says, if you don't play nasty football, you're not going to play for Brad White. Florida fans should love that.
Which is great to hear. We'll take a break. FSU football after the break. What are you going to do with FSU football? And I want to get into both JU and UNF hoops. That's after the break. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Your home for Florida Gators baseball is 1010XL.
The second last weekend of the regular season gets settled in the Swamp, Florida, Kentucky. Friday night, Saturday at 4, and Sunday at noon on 1010 a.m.
I'm Holt Harrell. I was talking to someone the other day, and they were shocked that some lawyers get more from a case than their own client. After paying bills and costs, if we are supposed to get more than a client, we won't. That's the Harrell and Harrell promise. When we say that we treat our clients like family, we mean it. If you've been in an accident, call us today. 251-1111. Harrell and Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Mom does something for everyone. Let 1010XL help you do something for her.
With gift ideas for mom from
Beaches Dermatology and Cookie Fix of San Marco.
Make mom smile at 1010XL.com.
Hey, Hicken here. I want to tell you guys about Lift Power. Lift Power, a Jacksonville-based business, been around for more than 50 years, family-owned and operated, and always on the lookout for good folks, experienced lift truck and dock and door technicians. The benefits out of this world: 401k, company vehicle, paid training, sign-on bonus. Offers so great. Come see why Lift Power has been voted one of the best places to work for the past several years as well. We want you to be a part of the family. Don't let this opportunity slip by. To learn more, all you got to do is go to liftpower.com. Check them out at liftpower.com.
Hello, all you Jacksonville sports fans. Don here from Taco Lou. If you're in the mood for some great tacos, cold Dos Equis, maybe even a sip of some fine tequila, then the Lou is calling your name. Come out to Jack's Beach and experience what many have dubbed the #1 taco in the 904. There are plenty of great taco joints in town, and we're proud to have been around for this long, and we have only you, the fine people of Jacksonville, to thank for helping us grow and become who we are today. Cheers to you, Jacksonville, and thank you from the Lou crew. Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach.
Don't we all owe it to Mom? I know I do. Jeff Pryor with Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring.
I know I owe it all to my mom.
And me too.
Floor your mom this Mother's Day and transform her home with exquisite new floors, or surprise her with a brand new glass or screen enclosure for the outdoor space she's always wanted.
I want to surprise my mom and me too. That's so sweet. Love you guys.
You guys are awesome. Visit our websites or one of our showrooms today to experience the lifetime difference and ask about our Mother's Day specials.
Lifetime Flooring.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about not being afraid of the crosses of life. Life can be difficult. Maybe today you're carrying a cross of worry or stress. Let me encourage you to remember that when Christ got on the big cross at Golgotha, he destroyed all the little crosses that we face in our life. He set us free from fear, worry, and anxiety. Our job is not to be carried by the cross, but to be carried by our faith.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Looking for something fun that mom and the whole family can enjoy? Check out the Sharks this Sunday, May 10th, as they take on the Tulsa Oilers at the Vistar Arena. Kickoff is 4 o'clock. Bring mom to the game. All moms get one free ticket with one paid ticket. Moms also get $20 in Shark Bucks to spend as they choose. Food, drinks, merchandise, whatever mom wants. Have you heard? Grease is the word. It's grease night. Whether you're a T-Bird or a pink lady, come on out. Who knows? There might be a fun sing-along. To purchase tickets, go to jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. It's Grease Night, presented by Napa and their Jacksonville Business Development Group. All moms get one free ticket with one paid ticket. Introduce mom to Sharks football, and she'll have a blast. Join us on field after the game for a free autograph session sponsored by Flight Adventure Park. To purchase tickets, call 904-621-0700. That's 621-0700. Sharks football, where memories are made.
Go Sharks!
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Big Chief Tire Friday on the Frangie Show. For all of your tires and automotive service needs, it's Big Chief Tire.
Well, I said it, one of the great American bands. They don't get enough credit. Bon Jovi. That puts me in a good mood. JJ, what's in the pouch? Give me something in the pouch in there.
I don't have Bon Jovi, but I got Don Jovi.
Okay.
Don Jovi, the ultimate tribute, a fantastic recreation of one of the most popular rock bands in history. They will be at Thrasher Horn Center in the OP Friday, May 15th at 7:30 p.m. So be car number 4 right now, and I'll hook you up.
All right. Great music. Love that Bon Jovi music. Caller 4 right now. You're going to see Don Jovi in Orange Park. Frank Frangie, Ryan O'Halloran with you, along with JJ LaSelva. You can be Mike Alford, or you can be Norville. You want to be Norville, or you want to be Mike Alford?
What a choice.
Well, I'm going to quickly
Either Mike.
I'm going to quickly be Mike Alford.
Okay.
Because this is what Mike Alford's problem is. 51, 42.5, 34, 25.5. Those are the buyouts and millions of dollars for Mike Norvell the next 4 years. That means you're stuck with him.
Wow.
I know the Kiffin stuff last year, whatever, but I don't think there's a lane candidate out there to pay that money, because who's going to pay it? Okay.
Mike Norvell is going to be the coach.
Yeah. So, okay, let's accept that. Now I'm in Mike Norvell's shoes. What's the vision? Okay. I mean, you this year you have 23 transfers and 31 high school signees. Wow. Okay. In 23, and this was a misnomer, in 23 when they went undefeated, they had 19 high school and 12 transfers. The problem is the transfers were awesome. The high school kids didn't develop. Then they left. Right. So okay, to me, I look at my staff. Okay, do I have the right guys on player development? And that's going to be the key for Florida State. I do think they have a good foundation going into the season. The problem is one of those foundation players isn't a quarterback. So I think they have to really dig into this quarterback situation. Okay, can they recruit a guy who can stay with them, pay them maybe not to play right away, and also bring some continuity, because you're looking at their 5th different starter in the last 5 years, maybe 4th in 4 years. But you look back, this is a program that had Chris Wenke, Christian Ponder, E.J. Manuel, had Jameis. They always had stability at that position. You got to get back to that. And the thing that's plagued Florida State is, and this is where Norvell really I would dig in, is they've had O-line problems for a while, and they're running it back with some transfers this year. So quarterback and O-line, because you're going to find athletes in this state to play defense and in the portal. So that would be is establish a vision, quarterback, O-line.
And don't you have to get, I said this the other day, either to you or Hayes, don't you have to hope Ashton Daniels, there's something in there that nobody has seen, because he's a big, strong, athletic guy that's played a lot of football. Don't you have to turn him loose? Don't you have to make it very quarterback-centric? Because if not, you're going to suck again.
Yeah, and they tried to do that with Castellano last year, and it's almost like they used all their good plays against Alabama.
That's a great point. And, that they did try to do it last year.
And he just wasn't a good enough passer. Yeah. And maybe this kid with the coaching, I do agree with Norvell taking over the plays. Hey, if I'm going down, I'm going to go down and call him myself.
Is there a chance here, and JJ, I want you to weigh in too, that because they're not going to be as good as Miami, and they're probably not going to have as many good players as Clemson. JJ, go first here. Is there a chance, though, that if their players are a little better than you thought, it's still the ACC, and all of a sudden Pitt and SMU and
maybe we'll find out really early in the season. They play SMU. It's like their first real game, and that is supposed to be one of the top ACC teams. So yeah, if they look decent, maybe even lose a close one against SMU. I wouldn't be shocked if they got 8 wins this year.
See, see, Ryan, the thing is this. Florida can't kind of be back because they're going to have to play Tennessee and LSU and Auburn and Alabama and Texas A&M and Oklahoma every year, right? Or whoever. If FSU's kind of back, then all of a sudden Pitt and Virginia and Wake don't look daunting because you know why? Because they're Pitt and Virginia and Wake. So isn't there a chance for that reason?
Yeah, and you know, Pittsburgh came in the Doak last year in a noon game. Florida State didn't have any answers for him.
With a freshman quarterback.
With a freshman quarterback.
A really good play caller, but a freshman quarterback.
Yeah, and I mean, we thought that, okay, Cade Bell's going to be going to Florida.
Yeah.
So, or A&M. So, but anyway, so you look at, JJ mentioned SMU. First 5 games for Florida State: New Mexico State, SMU, at Alabama, Central Arkansas, Virginia. Can you find some mo to go 4-1? Well, then all you need is 2 more to get it bowl eligible.
Right. And it's not. And you didn't just read off Ohio State, Michigan, LSU, Alabama. That's the point. Alabama was in there, but. So I guess and maybe it's just I just have never bought the ACC, and maybe that's my SEC snobbery coming through.
But if you look at Florida State's
yes,
in context of the ACC, they do have like the hardest schedule you could have this year.
No question.
For being in that conference. So it is going to be a tough run this year.
And if they're not back at all, they're going to get beaten.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to. That's the point.
They have the last couple of years.
I mean, they got SMU coming in on Labor Day night, so that's national TV.
Yeah.
And to me, that's your second game of the season.
Right.
I think that is a critical game.
Gigantic.
I can't wait to watch
home game.
Fan morale.
Yeah, everybody watching again. And in fact, Ashton Daniels has played some football, so we'll see. All right, we got 2 or 3 minutes left. I'm going to lump JU and UNF basketball together. Can I do that? Yep. I'm going to lump them together. If you're Alex Ricker Gilbert or Nick Morrow, if you're Bobby Kennan or Jordan Mincy, how do you win it? In your opinion, in Ryan O'Halloran's opinion, how do you win at that level?
Yeah, it's a tough putt. I mean, if you don't have the resources, let's start. It looks like they're doing it the opposite way right there coming into this year. You look at UNF, they're 7-25 last year, yet they focused on, once Bobby Kennan got the full-time job, retaining guys. They're going to have 7 guys coming back. Right now, 3 high school guys, and then right now they're at 3 portals. So they are banking on, a full off season they also changed some staff.
Yeah.
So they're banking on some of the guys, and they did play a little better down the stretch last year, but it was still a bad season. Now let's flip it to JU. You can add in on this. They're turning it over, and so
very few players will be back.
Very few players, and it's okay. The arena's a gym. You got a practice facility, but that doesn't matter. I mean, so what are you sinking into your NIL? UNF just starting that, so JU's ahead of that on this. The thing about JU is you got to be able to spend that money right because you can't throw it away. You got to be able to find the right guys. They didn't do that this past year. So, but both of them played 3 Power 5 bye games last year. Do you up that a little bit to create, to get your guys ready? Because really, as you know, even with the expanded tournament, it's a 1 bid league, and it's everything points to getting hot that 1 week. And so, how do you schedule? How do you play your rotation? How do you recruit for those guys?
Just so you know, for schools at that level, and I know you know this, Ryan. Your NIL, rev share, whatever money is about $500,000.
Mm-hmm.
That if you spend $500,000, whereas Florida is going to spend $25 million, JU and UNF or whoever, Gulf Coast, Stetson, whoever, is going to try and get to about $500,000, which means you're going to find 3 really good players that you think are really good and give them all $100,000, and then that $200,000 is going to go to the rest of your roster. That I'm telling you, that's how it's going to go. I think JU is more inclined to go all 500, if not more, and UNF isn't there yet. Nick Morrow told us point blank on the air that there was no NIL money on that team last year.
Yeah.
He said they're going to change that, but I sense that JU is going to spend more.
Yeah, just give you a preview for next week. I'm going over to UNF basketball on Monday. Just say, where are you guys at?
Yeah.
And sort of just, hey, give me a roadmap, because when Nick announced that Bobby was getting the full-time job, he was pretty adamant, say, hey, it's time to devote more resources to this program. Awesome arena for that level of basketball. So you got that working for you. So I'm interested. I kind of lean toward, okay, if you're UNF, I want to see if returning guys can take next steps, because if you're JU and you're literally starting over, except for the exception of a couple of guys, how long does it take for them to find their rhythm? And by that point, maybe it's halfway through the league season.
Yeah, if JU's bringing in mostly new guys, UNF's bringing back a lot of their guys, you're right. UNF's got the continuity. Does JU have the better top-end talent? We'll certainly find out. Well done. We'll take a break. Hour 2 is next. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is 1010XL.
Hell, you could say that 10,000 times and it still wouldn't be enough. It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
This is 1010XL.
Today's vehicles are smarter than ever, but that also means they need more precision than ever. Features like lane assist, collision warning, and adaptive cruise control all rely on cameras, sensors, part of what's called ADAS. And if those systems are even slightly off, they might not work correctly. That's why, after certain repairs, your vehicle will need ADAS calibration. At G&H Tires and Service, they have the ADAS system, so your vehicle's safety features work the way they're supposed to. Don't guess with your safety. G&H Tires and Service. Precision that protects.
Some plumbing companies say they're local, right up until you realize their headquarters are in New York City. At Hall & Sons Plumbing, we're actually from here. Born, raised, and fixing leaks right here in Jacksonville. Hall & Sons Plumbing. Local. Family. Real.
Take time out with Patrick Young.
Patrick Young here, a.k.a. the Big PY. And you know I love my Florida Gators.
Friday morning at 8:30 with Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser. Tipped off by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and Kuhn Flowers on 1010XL.
The Golf Club at Southampton is super excited for what's next, and that's brand new greens and plenty more to add to your golfing experience. While renovations are underway, you can still come out, hit the practice area, and keep your game sharp. Plus Thursday night trivia, always fun, and music on Friday nights on the patio. Check it all out at golfsouthampton.com or their Facebook page. Membership opportunity right now where you can take advantage of a great deal before the renovation is complete. Call 287-PLAY and check out the latest from the Golf Club at Southampton.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just the job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Catch Gators baseball all season long on 1010XL. Pitched by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah, Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville, and Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
Hicken here. See clearly with the Eye Associates and trusted optometrists Zachary Boskool and Alice LaFlamme. From comprehensive eye exams, dry eye care, glaucoma management, diabetic eye care, and more, Dr. Boskool and Dr. LaFlamme are dedicated to protecting your vision. Immediate availability at all 5 Jacksonville locations. Schedule today with Dr. Boskool and Dr. LaFlamme by calling the Eye Associates, formerly Bowden Eye Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet Betchkel, MD at 296-0098.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I can tell you as Walk-Off Charities has grown, we now manage a large athletic facility with numerous fields, including the Bregan Baseball Complex. To get around, we needed a good, reliable golf cart. I went straight to Dynamic Drives and Design in Jack's Peak. I met with Travis, told him exactly what our needs were. Would you believe before you knew it, the perfect cart was delivered to us at an incredible price? If you need a golf cart, Travis and his team are the go-to. Learn more about them at dynamicdrivesdesign.com.
Hey, it's Greg. When you work at this radio station, you tend to hear the Awaken 180 stories all the time from Hacker, Matt, Amber, and tons of our listeners. Well, for years, I've been saying I need to do it, but I can do it on my own. Or let me just get through the season, I'll do it next month. And you know what? That hasn't been working. So when they said lose 40 by the 4th, something clicked. So I did it. And last week, I started the Awaken 180 Lose 40 by the 4th plan. And I'm telling you, it's even easier than I expected. I've got my coach, Mandy, so I'm not guessing anymore. And they lay everything out in a concrete plan guiding my steps. And for me, this is bigger than just losing weight. I want to move better, feel better. I want to walk parks and music festivals without feeling it the next day. Just live better. So right now, this is the window. Lose 40 by the 4th, but you've got to start now to get there. I've stopped making excuses, and I'm going to be accountable for the next 2 months by telling you how it goes. So let's do it together. Call 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Hull & Sons Plumbing. Ponte Vedra Sharks boys lacrosse team beat Winter Park in the 2A state semifinal in a 6-5 thriller last night. They'll take on St. Thomas Aquinas on Saturday for a shot at the state championship. The Jacksonville Dolphins women's lacrosse team will take on Colorado in the first round of the NCAA tournament tonight at 7. It's 77 degrees at 5 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. 1010
Take.
The 1010 Take is brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter, septic, plumbing, and air conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. That's duckduckrooter.com. The NFL will announce the schedule a week from yesterday on May 14th at 8 o'clock at night. You'll know a few of the games before that, the international games. Some will leak and whatnot, but that's when they're going to make the official announcement. And that is when they should make the announcement that the Jags will play in Dallas on Thanksgiving Day. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not. I don't think they're enough of a marquee team. But the Jags are the only team that's not played on Thanksgiving Day. The Jags do have things that are attractive, including a quarterback who's rising, a team that won 13 games a year ago. And the Jags do play in Dallas next year. The league has always said, nah, too small market, nah, this. I mean, they played in Detroit a few years ago, and it didn't happen. The Jacksonville Jaguars should play in Dallas. The NFL should do the right thing. You've got Trevor Lawrence. You've got Travis Hunter. You've got a team that certainly is proved they are close. They won 13 games last year. There aren't many teams in the National Football League that did that in the regular year. The Jags did. Do the right thing, NFL. Send the Jags to Dallas on Thanksgiving Day. And that's the 10-10 Take. Agree or disagree?
It'd be great. How about Jacksonville and Denver Thanksgiving night?
Yeah. Okay. I can live with that. But give me it's the Dallas Cowboys on It's great that Denver now has a Thanksgiving. It's great that there's now night games that they move around. But it's not like going to Detroit or Dallas.
Yeah, and if you're the league, and it is, if it's the league, as long as you have the Cowboys, you're going to get 50 million people, so
it's not like no one's going to watch.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, I'm not going to go have my pumpkin pie because the Jaguars are on TV.
Right,
so,
right.
But that would be awesome.
And I just, if not now, when? Mm-hmm. You don't get to play at Dallas or at Detroit all that often. And listen, I think it's great that they have the night games on Thanksgiving, but that's not the same. It's not the same as playing in one of those two games. In fact, I almost don't like that they have the night games, because I think those two games, the at Detroit and the at Dallas games, are less special. You know, yeah. I almost, but you go to Dallas this year.
And you're expecting us to watch 3 games on Thanksgiving, right. Roger? Like, relax, dude. Can we spend at least a little bit with mom?
Well said. But if ever you were going to do it, why not? And the Cowboys are very good offensively. Maybe they've gotten better defensively, but the Cowboys can score. The Jags, Dak Prescott, I'm not a big Dak fan, but the league loves him, and they've been very good on offense. And here comes Trevor, why not? Why not?
I covered Bills at Lions on Thanksgiving in 23.
Okay.
I think it was 23. And there's just a different feel to the building.
I have no doubt.
And a lot of Bills fans, obviously, Allen made an incredible throw to Diggs to set up the winning field goal. But that they play on Sunday, you're back at the facility on Monday, you're there Tuesday, you fly Wednesday.
Yeah.
To me, and then you get the mini bye.
Yeah.
I think it's a competitive advantage.
No question. So I hope they do it. I think if ever you were going to do it, do it a year where you're playing there, and I hope they do it. All right, the schedule's coming out. What are your expectations in terms of primetime games?
Well, I think they're going to have a Thursday night game. They're going to have a Monday night game.
Okay.
I think both of them are going to be on the road.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to be a Sunday night team unless it's flexed later in the season. But that said, both London games are going to be national TV windows, albeit in the morning. But people watch those games before they go to their game. So that would be my guess is one Thursday night, most likely, I think, at Houston, and then a Monday night game, maybe even at Denver, I think maybe early in the season.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll stay away from a home game because of the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
You have to wonder, because it's not just whether or not you can tell it on television, but there's also bringing the trucks in and the booth and everything. You wonder, there's construction going on everywhere. You could certainly forgive the league if the league said, look, we're not coming to Jacksonville when they're renovating their stadium and the stadium's can only be half full. I get that. I don't know that that's how they'll play, but it'd be hard for me to condemn the league if they went that way.
Well, and if I'm Shad Khan, I've already filed my request with Roger Goodell, 2028, week 1 Monday night or week 2 Sunday night to open this stadium.
Yeah, that's right. And which makes a lot of sense. And by the way, the team's got to earn that. Mm-hmm. If all of a sudden 13-4 turns into 4-13 a couple of years, well, they're not going to do that. But so the team's got to earn that. But I think the team did earn it last year. Again, a team with expectations. A 13-win team in the regular season that brought back most of the players of significance, almost all of them. A rising star at quarterback. A rising star as your head coach. Again, I stay frustrated about this because I understand it's a small market, but you said the thing I've said all along. It's not like nobody's watching. It's not, we're going to turn it off. Or I'm not going to watch now because the Jaguars are playing the Cowboys. It doesn't work like that. Everybody watches the NFL, and they damn sure watch it on Thanksgiving Day.
The star draws. And that's on the side of the helmet.
Yeah.
And so
correct.
You can't go wrong.
Yeah. So hopefully they'll wind up doing that. That's certainly what I hope. Let's take a break. Pete Prisco joins us in a minute. After that, we'll talk later on about this NFL officiating thing. Got a lot more to get to. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
He's big.
What kind of monster are you?
And he's big on the Jags.
3 times bigger than this.
Mike Dempsey.
What do you think? Well, what do you know?
10 to noon weekdays.
You're a lot smarter than I look.
On 1010XL.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Update. Our next event at Showtime is hosting James Spence Authentication tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. JSA can certify your autographed items. JSA inside the store tomorrow, Saturday, 11 to 3. It's Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. Update your collection.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. When it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Sent in, and Sporting Jacks breaks through first.
For the latest on Jacksonville's pro soccer teams, join the Sporting Jacks Coaches Show, presented by Honda of the Avenues, every Tuesday night at 6 on 1010 AM and 1010XL.com.
Hey, I've got that craving again. How about some Mr. Chubby's wings?
Have you had the Chubby style wings? Grilled to perfection with Chubby's secret seasoning.
You know I have. They are so delicious. I swear you can't find anywhere in town with better wings and better prices on drinks.
So many different specials each night, too. Well, I'm ready to chub it up again.
Me too.
See all their specials at MrChubby'sWings.com. Locations on Fleming Island, the West Side, and Ponte Vedra Beach. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
You may not be able to control the air you breathe on the outside, but you certainly can on the inside of your home. Just call Florida Home AC and ask about the Remy Halo. It's the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
What was the name of Van Morrison's first band? The answer coming up.
When your homeowner's insurance policy is up for renewal, it's a good idea to shop around to find a better plan. Southern Oak Insurance for over 20 years provides Floridians a clear option. SouthernOak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Van Morrison's first band was called Them.
Southern Oak Insurance, our family protecting yours.
Royal Pest Services, a local company you can trust. Royal Pest is a certified installer of tap insulation, which stands for thermal, acoustic, and pest control. Reduce that electric bill by adding pest protection. It's that easy. Online at royalpestservices.com.
PGA Tour star Ricky Fowler.
If you want to be the best, you have to practice with the best. That's why I had Southwest Greens install and maintain my putting green, and my synthetic lawn, and my chipping area, and my practice bunker area, and my bocce ball court, and our pole vaulting area.
Southwest Greens is the world's premier manufacturer and installer of putting greens, synthetic grass, chipping areas, practice bunkers, and just about anything else you want to do in your yard.
It's Southwest Greens.
Log on to southwestgreensofjacksonville.com to see what they can do to your backyard.
La playa is Spanish for the beach. If you can't remember that, the word Corona also works. Corona, La Playa awaits.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Time for all things Jaguars and NFL with Pete Prisco. The Prisco Report, presented by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
Showtime.
On the Frangie Show.
Nah, we sure appreciate our friends from Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. I can tell you now, 11 to 3 tomorrow, JSA will be there to authenticate your autographed items. JSA is the leader in the collectibles industry. 11 to 3 tomorrow, so stop on by and get all that stuff authenticated by the best in the business. JSA. Remember, whatever you want, vintage cards, autographed items, they've got it all at Showtime, corner of Phillips and Shad, or find them on all those social channels, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Pete Prisco joins. Pete, how you doing?
What's up, guys? How are you?
We are doing fantastic and getting ready to go to a mini camp tomorrow. If you were coming with us tomorrow, what would you have your eye? Which rookies would you have your eyes on tomorrow here in Jacksonville, Pete?
Well, the tight ends for sure. I mean, again, two guys I really liked, two guys that were on my better than team, and two guys I really want to keep an eye on them. And look, the kid out of A&M, everybody thinks he's just a blocker. He's not. Because you're not in minicamp, you're not blocking anybody, but you'll get a chance to see him run. And he's a better receiving tight end than people give him credit for. So those are the two guys I'd really want to see.
Pete, one of the undrafted guys is Jamari Taylor, the Virginia running back. Did all ACC, but didn't go drafted. Did you look at him before the draft to form an opinion on him?
Absolutely. And in fact, he was almost on my better than team. I went with Emmett Johnson instead from Nebraska, and then I put the little kid from Navy on as well. But he was almost on the team. I like him. He's got a lot of ability. He's got the ability to make people miss. He's got some home run speed. I mean, he's not on the clock speed guy, but he plays fast. He was intriguing, and I think for an undrafted guy, I think they got a couple kids. The corner at NC State's an intriguing kid as well. I think they got a guard from UCLA who I liked, who was actually on my better than team. So I think they did a nice job with their undrafted, and he's an interesting guy. I don't know where you fit him in, but you always want to have one of those guys on the practice squad. Mm-hmm. A guy you could develop, and then when you want to get rid of one of the other ones, and then you get him. I'm a big believer in draft them, run them into the ground, and draft another one. Yep. That's my philosophy.
And to that end, what do you think about this running back room? They really like Chris Rodriguez. They believe he's a bit of a downhill runner, which they haven't had. Tootin and Allen were good as first-year players a year ago with different roles. What do you think about the room?
I think the room's good. People look at it, they go, well, they got a running back problem. No, they don't. They got, like you said, they got a physical grinder in Rodriguez. He's tough. And he did a nice job last year when he played. He knows the offense. Liam Cohen knows him. But more than that, Tootin. And I was a big believer in Tootin before they even got him. He was another guy who was on my team last year. The home run speed is there. I think it took him a little while to adjust to the NFL game and how you cut. You can't just turn everything into a home run. And I think as the season moved along, you saw that. And so anybody who thinks that their running back room isn't good is misguided, because you just don't know who they are. And that's what, you look, let's, for example, the Texans, everybody's saying the Texans room is great now. They have David Montgomery. Would you rather have David Montgomery or a young Tootin? To be honest with you, I'd rather have a young Tootin.
You don't think they have a running back problem? Do they have a depth edge rusher problem? And if so, would any of these veterans be attractive?
I'd ask on those veterans. I'd call on the veterans. Absolutely. I think, again, I go back to something I've preached for a long time. Where's the twitchiness? Because even the kid they drafted isn't a twitchy pass rusher. And I know they like him, but he's not a twitchy guy. So I would inquire about some of those pass rushers. Absolutely, whether it be Bosa, or Von Miller. You know, I talked to Von Miller at the Combine. I've known Von for a long time, and Von thought he might be going back to Washington, and now I hear he's mentioned in Buffalo. And granted, Von Miller isn't Von Miller anymore, but he had 9 sacks last year. And he could, you know, he still can rush the quarterback in situations, and that's all they'll need is a situational guy. So I would definitely make some calls on those edge guys.
My feelings about Von Miller are well stated from having him in Denver and Buffalo. I think just 12 to 15 snaps a game, but also just a locker room presence who's won a Super Bowl.
Well, see, that's really important. Pete, let me ask you, because Ryan and I were talking about this before we called you. You have a really good eye for, what do you call it, name over game. Sometimes veteran guys aren't the players you think they are because you know their name so well. You don't worry about that with some of these edge guys? You think that's a little different story here?
No, usually, you can look at it, but the money now has got to come way down. So you probably can get him on a veteran minimum almost. You know what I mean? So it's worth a look for a guy like that. And Ryan mentioned it. Von Miller's been a pro everywhere he's been. He that's what he is. He gets it. You know, he understands what it takes to be a successful player, and I think that'll bleed around the locker room. Not that they have a locker room problem, but it's nice to have a guy, A, who has ring, and B, who can, get after the quarterback, like Ryan said, for 12 to 15 plays. Of those guys, I think he would be the one that, fits a little bit better than Bosa, but Bosa would be another one. Last year, it wasn't a great Bosa year, but it wasn't bad either. He had 5 sacks, and he also caused a bunch of fumbles. So I would definitely inquire about those guys, because then you go back to your third down. You move Walker inside, you move, then you have a guy you can put in as the fourth rusher. And I think that's important for them going forward.
Switching around the league, Pete, Aaron Rodgers is supposed to be in Pittsburgh this weekend. Why? If you're Mike McCarthy.
Well, because you don't have any other options, and why not play him for another year? I mean, look, they drafted Aller in the 3rd round. I don't think he's their long-term answer. So you bring Rodgers back, and the Steelers win 9 games like they always do and take themselves out of the possibility of getting one of the top picks next year. But again, they'll be competitive because of the way they play. And, Mike McCarthy's a good football coach, by the way. People don't think he is, but he is. Yeah, he's definitely been one of the more underrated coaches in this league. So why not bring Rodgers back? You got more weapons for him. You got an ability to, and I think they'll be better on their offensive line. Guys are a year older. And so I do think you bring him back and you try and make a little run for it. I don't know if they necessarily can, but, it still makes sense. And then you go into next year's draft and get yourself a quarterback.
I should never guess what Pete thinks. I was wrong on this one.
Let me ask you this, Pete, about the whole Aaron Rodgers thing. Let me ask you this. Whether you bring him back or not, the other quarterbacks aren't any good. I'm not sure he's very good anymore. They're a 500 team. I agree with that. But why every year is it like this? Either play or don't play. It's not like he doesn't know the team now. He knows the city. He knows where he's going to live. He knows McCarthy, obviously. What happens with him when it takes till July or August for him to decide he's going to play for a team? You know that stuff. What goes on here?
Well, I think part of it is this is actually the time where he's actually debating whether he wants to do it anymore. I think that's
you think he really is debating. You think he really is debating.
Yeah, I do. But I also think part of it is he debated for a while. I think in just talking to those guys when I was at the Combine and then again at the owners' meetings, I just got the feeling from talking to them that he gave him the indication he was going to play.
Yeah.
And that's why there was no panic on their part. If he said, I'm not playing, I think they would have been more aggressive maybe to try and get a quarterback earlier than they did. Because, look, you're not playing with Will Howard and Mason Rudolph and Drew Aller and thinking you're going to win, 10 games. I just don't think that's a possibility. So I think they knew in the back of their mind that he was going to play, which is why they didn't do the quarterback panic. And now they can do it next year. And they will do a quarterback panic next year. They're going to be one of those teams that's going to be panicking to try and get a quarterback, whether to move up or down in the draft next year.
The A.J. Brown story continues to drag on, turning into a saga. If not the Patriots, would another team emerge?
It's a good question, but I think the Patriots everybody thinks that's a foregone conclusion, and I think it's going to happen. Again, here's the other part of that. I said this last week. People automatically assumed A.J. Brown was the problem in Philadelphia.
Quarterback.
And the quarterback, long before that story came out, I had said a bunch of different times, I had heard from different people that that there's an issue with him and the quarterback. They were friends, and now they're not friends, and that usually is a red flag. And there's other things involved with that quarterback, and so. Yeah, it used to be crazy to speculate on the quarterback being the problem. Now it's not. And so I think a team out there who wants to get a big physical receiver should inquire about going to get A.J. Brown. And I think New England's the leader in the clubhouse.
Pete, a week from yesterday, the NFL is going to announce its schedule. What do you expect from the Jags? Night games? Any? Probably. Ryan made a good point. Maybe not any here because of the stadium reconstruction. What's your expectation?
Yeah, I think they'll get maybe an away, night game or two, but I don't think they'll put one in that small stadium. I just don't. Although, if I remember correctly, when the Chargers played in the soccer stadium, they had some, I think, at night. So I got to go back and look at that, but I think there was at least one where they played a night game there. Yep. But yeah, I think they'll get them on the road, and so. Look, they're still the Jaguars. Even though they were good last year, come on, you guys know. They were good last year, and Ryan, you were at the league meeting. They were good last year. They're going to be good again this year, and nobody thinks that. Nobody.
I know.
Look at the power rankings that the ESPN put out the other day. Where were they? 15, I think, or 16. That's crazy.
Well, usually what me and Pete have to do at the Combine and league meetings is defend Josh Allen, saying he will eventually win the big one. We switched it this year to say, hey, these Jaguars are for real.
Yeah. Well, but Pete's right, because, Pete, I made the point a minute ago, this is the perfect year to have them play in Dallas on Thanksgiving. They go to Dallas. That's on the schedule. They've got Trevor Lawrence, who is becoming one of the marquee quarterbacks in the league. They had a 13-win regular season last year. It could be offensive. Everyone knows the Cowboys are good offensively. We'll see if they're better defensively. It could be offense versus offense. It could be Dak versus Trevor, two young football coaches. It's the perfect day to do it, but they're not going to do it, are they? Because they're not going to put the Jags in Dallas on Thanksgiving Day.
No, they're not. They're not going to. I just don't see that happen.
I don't either. I think it should.
I mean, here's a couple of the other teams that the Dallas has. They could make the Ravens play on Thanksgiving. They could make the 49ers play on Thanksgiving. I'm talking about outside the division, other than the Jaguars. Okay, the Titans aren't going to be the Thanksgiving Day opponent, so you can take them out. But I think if you look at it, it's not going to be the Cardinals, so you can take them out. So your possibilities are the division teams, which I don't think that happens. But then you got the 49ers. The Bucks, the Ravens, and the Jaguars. Now you look at that, you say, okay, well, which one is the sexiest team? The Ravens are, of course they are, with Lamar Jackson. So even though I think the Jaguars are probably going to end up being better than them, I think that it won't be Jacksonville, and it's just the way it's been. It's been that way for a long time there. It's been that way since their existence, and so I don't think they will play on Thanksgiving.
I mean, this team will win the Super Bowl, and they'll say, well, the other team was banged up or something like that. So
that's it. Believe me, we've all lived it.
And they've earned it. They've earned most of that scoring. But, Pete, I remember like Pittsburgh going into L.A. and playing at that soccer stadium in a Sunday night game, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't think it's the size of the stadium. I think their fear could be construction. You got to bring in a lot of trucks, and you got to, will the booth be different? Will the wiring be different because of all the construction? If they don't come, Pete, next year, I don't know that it'll be the size of the stadium as much as it will be the construction going on in the stadium.
Yeah, maybe. But again, you don't really want to play a game where there's 40,000 people there either. Right. I mean, the soccer stadium was one thing, but so I think if they do get a Monday night game or Sunday night game, I think it's going to be on the road. And so, that's fine. Go deal with it. And look, that group has dealt with a bunch of stuff. They got to deal with, London all the time. They know how to handle stuff. I don't think that's that big a deal. But as far as Thanksgiving, I don't see that happen. It would shock me, but it would be good for the organization if they did it.
Final thing or two. The NFL officials agreed to a deal with the league. They're not going to have to use the replacement officials. Ryan and I are going to get into the next segment some of the details of the agreement and the CBA. But I'm not surprised. They weren't going to sit out, I don't think. But what did you make of the whole deal?
Yeah, and again, I'm one of those guys that believes the officials, will get criticized no matter if you have the A team, the B team, the C team, or the F team. I just think that's the nature of the business. They're going to miss calls, and look, the officials do the best job they can. I think replay is going to become more of a factor, which I think is okay with that. Moving forward, you have the technology. Why not use it? And so I'm okay. If it was the replacement officials, there would have been 5, 7, 8 calls that were highlighted, and everybody make a big deal out of it, just like they did with the Fail Mary back in the day. But the officiating wasn't going to be that much different, I didn't think. What I think they need to do, and I've said this before on the show, they need to put an eighth official. The game is too fast. They're too big and too fast, and they move at such speed now that you don't get good looks at everything anymore. And I think that would solve a lot of issues if they did that.
Last thing for me, Pete, on the league, the other news today, George Payton, the Broncos GM, got a new 5-year contract. I covered George. I really like him. He has survived Sean Payton. How impressed have you been with the work George has done?
George has done a heck of a job. And look, I work with Rick Spielman, who's now back with the Jets, but I worked with him for a couple of years, and George worked under him. And Rick had nothing but high praise for George. And the reason that George is getting that contract extension is because there was talk of the Vikings trying to get him to come back. And so, again, going to work for Sean Payton is tough duty. I mean, I've known Sean a long time. He can be a grade A pain in the ass. I mean, there's no question about that. And so the fact that he has survived that, kudos to George Payton. It tells you a lot about him as a guy.
Yeah, his first ever draft pick's probably going to be a Hall of Famer with Surtain.
Yeah, and maybe the best cornerback in football. Pete Prisco checking in, as always, from CBSSports.com. Pete, I heard next week you're moving to Thursdays. Have you heard the word? That's the word on the street. Have you heard this?
That's the word on the street. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I mean, look, you're not working on Fridays, so I got to talk to Frank Frangie. I mean, I'm okay with that. Frank, Thursday's good.
Ryan and Hazel have the show. I wasn't leaving Pete with them. JJ, I'm taking Pete with me. I'm going. He's coming with me. Is what we're doing here. So
deserved.
Absolutely.
Well, we are going to steal Pete Friday before the draft next year, since it's clear the Jaguars have his better than list on their draft board.
Absolutely right. Pete,
they need to listen to me more. They listen to me on the draft stuff, but they don't listen to me on going for it when they're fourth down situation. They need to listen to me more.
Pete Prisco from CBSSports.com. Again, next week, 5:15 on Thursday. You'll hear Pete on the air. Pete, thanks, buddy. We appreciate it.
All right, guys. Take care.
Thanks, Pete.
My buddy Pete Prisco. And, yeah, he will be I will not be doing Friday shows after today, the last Friday show, other than one here or there. And Pete's going to come and do Thursdays with us because Pete and I have been friends for about 40 years, and I'm just taking him with me. That's kind of what we're doing here. Sorry about that, but I'm taking him with me.
Thanks a lot.
We'll take a break. More in a moment on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
The station that's not afraid to trade a little paint.
A little bumper tag there. Oh, no!
This Sunday at Watkins Glen.
They make contact!
NASCAR is revved up by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234 and 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be a 9-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award. Well, it's earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness, all part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. Now, look, I've been buying my cars from Nimnick forever. That is a true story. I started in 1982 buying my cars from Billy Nimnick Jr. God rest his soul. He taught me how to buy a car, and I've been doing it ever since. I trust my friends at Nimnick. They care about the community. They care about their customers. They do it right. They've supported our charity, Walk Off Charity, so many times. I really do appreciate them. If you want to buy a car, you want to be treated right, not just when you buy the car, but after the sale as well. Well, that's what they do. They care about their customers. They care about this community, and they care about treating you right. So who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? That answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnick. Visit their showroom off Cassett or go to nimnickchevy.com. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
And that concludes the Joe C. Jack of All Trades show. Tune in next week where I'll be installing my own French drain.
Joe, wake up, man.
Hey, John, I must have dozed off.
We finished those projects you started.
Whoa, my seamless gutters are actually seamless.
And they're connected into underground PVC drain lines.
And my sprinklers. Wow, look at that coverage.
Next time, just call me first, Joe.
I will, but I ain't singing that song.
Clear water irrigation
and drainage too.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I can tell you as Walk-Off Charities has grown, we now manage a large athletic facility with numerous fields, including the Bregan Baseball Complex. To get around, we needed a good, reliable golf cart. I went straight to Dynamic Drives and Design in Jack's Beach. I met with Travis, told him exactly what our needs were. Would you believe before you knew it, the perfect cart was delivered to us at an incredible price? If you need a golf cart, Travis and his team are the go-to. Learn more about them at dynamicdrivesdesign.com.
Not everyone is built for a cubicle. At Local 234, apprentices get paid to learn hands-on skills like plumbing, pipe fitting, HVAC, the stuff Jacksonville runs on. No endless lectures, no massive student debt, just hands-on training, real jobs, and real pay. This is how you level up, by doing work that actually matters. Check them out at UA234.com. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Local 234. Make the right connection.
Spring means wings. That's right. The Spring Wing Fest is happening right now at Bono's Barbecue. Frank Frangie here. Bono's wings are the best around, and now they've got 2 new flavors, garlic, parm, and lemon pepper. Head to Bono's today and get 6 wings and a side for $10.99 or a 10-wing basket for just $15.99. But hurry, the deal ends June 30th. To find the Bono's near you, head to bonosbarbq.com. That's bonosbarbq.com. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Hey friends, Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Have you ever stored a gallon of leftover paint, opened the can years later, and it's rusty, crusty, and unusable? Next time, secure the lid tightly to ensure no leaks and store the can upside down. Oxygen can't get to it, therefore no rust and no crust. If you'd like more tips or have a question about a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
If you're still looking for the perfect Mother's Day gift, surprise mom with a fresh baked box of gourmet cookies from Cookie Fix in San Marco. Crispy on the outside and gooey on the inside. Stop by Cookie Fix in San Marco today to make her day sweeter.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
Hi, you just heard it. Our buddy Pete Prisco checking in, talking about his better than team, talking about what he would watch if he was headed to the Jaguars minicamp like Ryan and I will be. And he talked about the things going on in the league. So the golden moment today, our friend Pete Prisco talking about all fun things in the NFL. Frank Frangie and Ryan O'Halloran with you along with JJ LaSelva. We just touched on the officials thing. All right, here's my take. I kind of agree with Pete. I don't think it would have been that devastating if replacement officials from college and whatnot came along, but I'm glad they signed the deal. Part of the deal is, quote, and it's from the story, more off-season training for officials because they're not full-time, as most of you know. Secondly, more latitude, Ryan, this one shocked me, in metrics to allow them to pick the best officials in the postseason rather than seniority. How was that not already being done?
Yeah, that's where the league that was the league's best bargaining point is we're not picking you because you've been here 20 years.
Yeah, how is that not always the case? But here's where I am on this. I'm a big believer that far more should be reviewable. Mm-hmm. I don't want to stop the game 1,000 times. I think there should be. What we still haven't gotten fixed is obvious misses, and I'm not saying pass interference or holding. You couldn't review that. I'm not saying let's put pass. It was a disaster a few years ago, whenever it was after the Saints game when they put pass interference. You can't do that. But there's obvious misses that we still don't allow to be reviewable because we don't want to hurt their damn feelings. Everything should be reviewable. And Pete wants an 8th official. Me too, but I want him in the booth. I want the booth review thing they do to be more prevalent than ever. Just buzz them if they get it wrong. If there's a situation where the guy eating a piece of pizza sitting on his recliner knows you got it wrong, there's no excuse for not fixing it. And in this day and age, you ought to be able to fix that.
Yeah, and their magic number is 3, which is in hours.
Yeah.
They do not.
I know,
and that's probably a good course, a good goal because they get it under 3 hours. So that's the thing. And the funny thing is, I think they were so scarred by the disaster that was pass interference. Yeah. And I remember the Broncos had the Hall of Fame game that year, and Vic Fangio said a couple of days before the game, he goes, "By the way, first pass interference call, I'm challenging."
Yeah,
because it's basically what he's basically saying is I'm challenging to people how stupid it is.
Right. And that was a stupid decision.
And that was it was rash. But yeah, it's the eye in the sky, I think, has some merit. I do like the fact that they consult New York on the rapid review stuff,
Right.
like on turnovers and
Right.
stuff. So I think they don't want to cross that threshold just yet.
Yeah, but video assist you're talking about. But why?
Mm-hmm.
If you can fix it, why not just fix it? I mean, we see it a lot on first downs, not first downs. You see that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why not just fix it? I mean, you know, it took forever to quit taking the chains out. You know, why are we taking chains out? Well,
it's the chains.
Yeah, I guess that's why it took forever to quit. If you can,
it's a jobs program.
Yeah,
you got to have those two guys working.
Yeah. And I get it. You don't want to slow the game down. And JJ and I have this talk all the time on our show that baseball got it right. Boom, ABS system. It's a strike or a ball. Let's move on. College basketball is the worst ever. When those college basketball officials go over to the table and put the headset on, I want to bang my head through a piece of glass.
NBA is just as bad.
And I don't watch it enough to know, but I did. That's the worst thing. So you have to do it fast the way baseball does. I can't believe in this day and age, with football mattering so much to so many people, bettors included, why we don't have a video system. Boom. Just like the ABS system is in baseball, why we don't have that for various circumstances in football.
Yeah, I think they'll get there. I mean, they're adding some stuff this year. I think in terms of the personal foul, stuff like that. But I think they're trying to make it.
Yeah, you can go back and see a personal foul after the fact. That's correct.
So I think it's baby steps, because one thing we know about the NFL, they don't exactly move fast.
Oh.
So every little bit of improvement, you sort of take it and say, hey, that's good. Now keep going.
Yeah. I guess it just that one bothers me more than anything else. What about, the league is awesome. You're right about 3 hours. They want 3 hour games. They spread the games all over. I think the sport is spectacular. I really do. I don't think there's much wrong with the way it's being played. I think the passing game is about where it needs to be now. I just think sometimes the application of or the execution of the game, I don't know. It's not just officiating; it's what the rules are. Well, I mean, the catch. I still don't know what's a catch. I'm still not sure what is a catch and what isn't.
Yeah, and like at the league meeting in March, they had the competition committee explaining some alterations to the kickoff. I had no idea.
What's the latest?
Yeah, okay, you can line 5 guys here and you can add a 6th guy here.
Yeah.
I mean, is it 11 on 11? Yes. And then, the touchback stuff. So they're splitting hairs on some of that stuff, but I think the kickoff has been good.
Yeah, I do too.
Even though the injury
hard to understand.
The injury data has not supported that.
Yeah, by the way, it's right. What they wanted, though, was more kickoff, less danger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They could take the danger all out and have touchbacks the whole time. Thought about that. If you wanted to make kickoff, if you wanted to bring the return back to football, just kick off from the 20. Why didn't they do that?
I'm still holding out hope for the 4th and 15 option.
By the way, the 4th and 15 on the onside kick option, yeah. I think it would be a great rule.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem is that would be so drastic. Nobody wants to go that drive.
It seems too easy to get 15 yards.
Maybe it's 25 then. Maybe it should be 12. But explain what you're talking about.
I mean, it has never gotten to a vote, but one of the options would be if you're trailing in the 4th quarter, and in lieu of an onside kick, you do the 4th and 15.
Yeah.
And I think that would spice it up, because there would be coaches, and I think we cover one of them.
Yeah.
Would say, I'm going for it.
Yeah. Why not? I'm with you, JJ. There's 15 yards. Why not?
Nowadays, that's so easy.
Why not 4th and 25?
Yeah, that would be a lot more.
It should be really hard to make. It should be.
If you look statistically wise on your chances of getting an onside kick, it's so much less than a 15-yard pass play.
Yeah, but maybe 20, maybe something like that. So we'll see. All right, let's take a break. We'll wrap the program after this. Say hello to Rick Ballou, so stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
This is Brent Musburger's VSIN Action Update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The latest odds on the 2026 World Series. The Dodgers, the betting favorite to be the three-time champions at plus 185. The Yankees, the best bet into the American League at plus 500. The Braves, they have the best record in baseball. They're plus 1,200 to win this year's World Series. The Mariners are plus 1,300. The Chicago Cubs plus 1,400. They're on a 9-game win streak. The Philadelphia Phillies, Detroit Tigers, and the Texas Rangers all at plus 2,200. Aaron Judge of the Yankees, the betting favorite to win the American League MVP at plus 105. Shohei Ohtani, the runaway favorite for the NL MVP at minus 360.
Progressive helping veterans drive their lives forward. More info, KeysOfProgress.com.
I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1010 XL.
Imagine this. You've got the burgers ready in a backyard full of guests. And folks, that's a strong lineup. But a clogged drain on a holiday, that can change everything in a hurry. Before kickoff, make sure your plumbing is ready to go. Call Duck Duck Rooter. They've got experience, honest pricing, and a team you can count on. And right now, get your main sewer line cleaned, plus a camera inspection for just $129. Outside cleanout is required because the only thing you want overflowing this weekend is that cooler. So when you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Homeowners running out of space in your kitchen, closets bursting at the seams, or maybe your bathroom just feels outdated and cluttered. At Harvest Construction and Remodeling, custom cabinets are what they do best. Owner Scott spent years as the main cabinet installer for one of the region's largest big box retailers. As a family man growing his own business, he brings that experience directly to homeowners like you. They'll create beautiful storage solutions that improve look, feel, and function. Visit harvestrenovations.com.
License number CRC 1331012.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Meta World Peace, what's up, man?
Nah, that's not my name anymore, thanks to Hard Rock Bet.
We're doing this again, are we?
Now I go by Meta over rebounds, under assists, Meta the first basket, free throw, piece.
Huh, so you really can same-game parlay practically anything now on Hard Rock Bet.
It's the only place I play these days.
Download the Hard Rock Bet app and start playing today. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Looking for something fun that mom and the whole family can enjoy? Check out the Sharks this Sunday, May 10th, as they take on the Tulsa Oilers at the VyStar Arena. Kickoff is 4 o'clock. Bring mom to the game. All moms get one free ticket with one paid ticket. Moms also get $20 in Shark Bucks to spend as they choose. Food, drinks, merchandise, whatever mom wants. Have you heard? Grease is the word. It's Grease Night. Whether you're a T-Bird or a Pink Lady, come on out. Who knows? There might be a fun sing-along. To purchase tickets, go to jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. It's Grease Night, presented by Napa and their Jacksonville Business Development Group. All moms get one free ticket with one paid ticket. Introduce mom to Sharks football, and she'll have a blast. Join us on field after the game for a free autograph session sponsored by Flight Adventure Park. To purchase tickets, call 904-621-0700. That's 621-0700. Sharks football, where memories are made.
Go Sharks! The Jacksonville Waves tip-off opening night, May 15th at 7 p.m. in the brand-new Upshot League at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Experience the excitement of women's professional basketball and be a part of history. Get your tickets now at wavesupshot.com.
All right, sports fans, Hicken here, and let's talk skin. Beaches Dermatology reminding you all to wear your sunscreen. Summer's almost here, gang, and that means more time outside. You're grabbing the clubs for your tea time. You're heading out to the boat. Just headed to the beach. Definitely bring the sunscreen. Hey, Mother's Day is coming up, so get your lady a gift card for some skin care. We know women love their skin. Beaches Dermatology, give them a call. I've been seeing them for years, and my skin thanks me for it. Call today online at beachesdermatology.com.
When it comes to glass, you don't want average. You want flawless. Duval Glass and Mirror has transformed homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that wow. Mirrors cut exactly to your style. Fogged or broken glass replaced. Decorative tabletops. Windows replaced or repaired to stand up to Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote. There's only one name for glass and mirror around these parts. It's Duval!
Hey, it's Brent with Arcosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Arcosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
to Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. For all of your tires and automotive service needs, it's Big Chief Tire.
We sure appreciate our friends from Big Chief. What a wonderful family, the Parman family. They've been so good to us with walk-off charities and the radio station, and we appreciate Reed and Kelsey and all those wonderful Parmans and 6 great locations of the Big Chief Tire. Head to Big Chief Tire for automotive services, tile, oil changes, brakes, alignments, I can say it, and those terrific tires. Frank Frangie, Ryan O'Halloran, a few more minutes, and JJ LaSalle. All right, what's your weekend? You're going to go, you got Jaguars tomorrow.
Yep.
You're writing notes in the morning.
Yep, so that'll be notes column running tomorrow's print edition online in the morning.
Yeah.
Go to Jaguars, poke around a little bit, see if I maybe get a Monday column. And then, really thinking about Trinity Bishop Snyder if there's a game 3 tomorrow and the weather cooperates.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be raining a little bit.
It's supposed to rain tonight and tomorrow, but it is one. And you've done a really good job. I keep telling you this. You're going to get the big head, but you've done a good job of balancing all the different sports stuff. I'm serious about that.
Mm-hmm.
As the lead columnist, you got to cover it all. And I will promise you, Bishop Snyder Trinity qualifies.
Yeah, and I had a blast doing the basketball stuff. And what sucks is that state baseball's in Fort Myers, so it's just like you're not going to get down there. But and then also you're keeping an eye on UNF and JU softball, UNF JU baseball.
Yeah,
so
play softball tonight against each other.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's a big weekend here.
Yeah, I'll say this: JU's had some good baseball moments. They've swept Florida. They've had some really good midweek games, but UNF is like good. I mean, UNF might win that tournament. The ASUN tournament is they're going to be the first seed. It looks like.
Now, would you have to win that tournament to get to a regional?
Probably. It's not necessarily a one bid league, but it's mostly a one bid. Now, JU's been twice in the last 15 years without winning the conference.
An at-large.
Yeah, and I will tell you, it was 7-8 years ago when Florida was really good. Florida went to Omaha. JU went down there as the 2 seed and almost beat them. Had them on the ropes.
So maybe UNF could do that.
Florida was the 1, JU was the 2. I don't remember the 3 and the 4 in Gainesville. The 1-4 game Florida won. The 2-3 game JU won. And then they met each other, and JU took them. I mean, Florida won by a run or 2, and then wound up going. And Florida ended up in Omaha that year. So it could happen. It's usually a one bid league, but it's not necessarily one.
We make it the Gators. Midweek they stink.
Yeah.
Then they go win a series. Sully looks like he wants to beat everybody up with a baseball bat. Do they have the pitching to get hot?
They've got the pitching. They got to get Luke McNeely back. He's the one pitcher that's still out. They're getting some pitchers. They're getting some players back this week that have been out. So Castrayer, one of their outfielders, their freshman outfielder, is a pretty good player, and they've got a middle reliever that's going to come back. But they're up and down. The problem, SEC baseball and ACC baseball at the top are so good that there's never a dominant team. In football, even as good as football is, Georgia's the dominant team, or Alabama, or Ohio State. In baseball, you really don't know. I mean, Tennessee could dominate, or look at the ACC, Georgia Tech, and you never know who's the best team, so you can't predict it. I'm not a bettor. I'd hate to be a bettor on college baseball because there's so many of them are all kind of lumped in there together. I think Florida's okay. I think they're what are they ranked? 18th, 19th, somewhere thereabouts, and I think that's about what they are. I think. Let's say hello to Rick below.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Rick, you still follow college baseball closely with the Noles?
I'm so broken about the ode to Billy Joe. And dropped off the Tallahatchie Bridge.
All of it. So
it's a good thing there's not a bridge to Tallahassee.
You're bitter. You're bitter on all of it. I get it.
I've done this for 35 years.
You used to love FSU baseball.
Oh my God, I absolutely love it. But I was talking to my brother about this just the other day. It's like Florida State has broken me to the point that I find myself not even watching them play basketball anymore.
I got it.
Play baseball. Yeah. It's like no one asks me anymore about it. So the listeners, the fans, it's like they don't care either. I mean, you're just talking. Florida State right now is an 8-track tape.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the best way to describe them. They are absolutely done. And I like Link Jarrett. I think he's got himself a pretty good team.
He's a good coach.
but that is a broken university right now.
Yeah, Ryan's too young, and Jay didn't know what 8-track tapes are. But you
it's
and
like
I know.
a square thing.
Oh, I loved 8-track. Like,
8-track
you
was
take
so
an
good.
8-track, you have that car that had bench seats. You'd go down to Point La Vista. Shut up. Okay?
Put it
I'm
in an
just
El
telling you.
Camino.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
And just
just saying.
So to answer your question, I do catch it here and there, but I don't give it my undivided attention. I mean, there were years here whenever they played the Gators, whenever they played JU or UNFM. I went to all those games, and I used to really love Florida State baseball, but at this point, I'm a casual fan.
What are you watching tomorrow in the practice?
I want to see where they line up Pregnon. Is he going to be a left guard, right guard? I think that'll be interesting. I know he played primarily left guard at Oregon. Ryan and I talked about it a little bit yesterday. It'd be nice to see some downfield speed.
Right.
Is there an opportunity that they could maybe find a return man, punt or kick? Parker Washington going to get a deal done. I think he will still remain the punt returner, but he gets dinged every once in a while. So, who else can be a punt returner? And, if Tootin wins that job, do you still want him returning kicks? So I'm going to be looking for, some speed guys and some return guys as well.
All that tonight?
Kendra Middleton is going to join us live from Cape Cod. She's got the very latest on Diana Rossini.
Wow.
And Mike Vrabel.
Wow.
This is can't miss freaking radio. No Florida State baseball on this. We'll get into what the people want.
Can you please tell me what time Kendra's coming on?
She'll be on at 6:16.
Okay, you know what? Plans set. Thank you, Rick.
Jacksonville's own.
That'll do it for Ryan. Thanks, buddy. Good job.
All right, thank you,
Good job
Frank.
as always. I appreciate you sitting in, and you'll be back on a regular basis with Hayes starting next Friday. We appreciate it, bro. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Don't go anywhere. Rick Ballou is next. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The